Dashing through the snow and when hearts open sleigh. Hey there, soul shines. It's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. Isn't this fun? It's almost Christmas, and I have one more thing to take my children shopping for, but pretty much I have finished my Christmas shopping. I have one more thing to make, maybe two, we'll see. But I love it because it takes the pressure off of me and to be done. I still get to wrap them because I just bought them, but that's kind of irrelevant. And I thought I'd wear it for fun. So here's the thing. Let's talk about beliefs. I'm going to share with you a little bit about a conversation I'm having. Somebody asked me to forgive them. And it's really interesting because I'm not really sure how I stand on the forgiveness thing when it comes to him. I haven't gone there yet because I'm looking at myself first. But here's the belief that he came back with, a couple of them. One of them is that the road to forgiving self is long and hard. Wow, that is a heavy belief to hold on to. It's a heavy belief to believe about things. It's a heavy way to think and perceive the world. And I feel sorrow that he feels that way. The other thing that he just informed me is that forgiving himself depends on me forgiving him. And I think that's an interesting belief to have as well, because think of this. If I have somebody asking me forgiveness if I have asked somebody forgiveness and they choose to never forgive me, but I believe I cannot forgive myself until they believe me, then am I ever going to forgive myself? Like, seriously, that's sad, because I am letting them completely hold me back, completely hold me in this place. It makes me super sad to have this conversation with him because forgiveness, whether somebody forgives me or not, is none of my business. When somebody doesn't forgive me, I wish them well. I send them love. I hope that they choose to forgive me. But I hope that they choose to forgive me because I know what that does to myself. That didn't come out quite how I meant it. Okay, so when I forgive somebody, that lifts it off of me, right? I feel better. When I hold on to that thing that I'm not forgiving, it holds me down. It holds me back. It keeps me from being the person that I'm designed to be. It keeps me from being light and love and forgiveness. When I'm holding on to that, it hurts me. It doesn't hurt somebody else unless they have some weird belief like this, this idea that I can't forgive myself unless you forgive me. But really, whether or not we forgive somebody does not affect them. Half the time, we have these things that we're like, oh, I got to forgive them for that. And we go back and we apologize, and they're like, what are you talking about? This is different depending on who we are. So my battery just went in, my laptop just went into battery saving mode. So we'll see how that affects the video. So that's one of the beliefs, this kind of thing that holds you back. If you believe that other people have to forgive you, I wish that other people would forgive themselves, because I know that then they will they will feel better about life. They will feel better. Maybe they don't even have anything to apologize for, and they don't know that. And so when I'm going, what do you mean forgive you? What did I do? Or whatever. It just depends on a lot of things. I guess a part of why I'm having a hard time, like, I don't know if I'm forgiving him or not, is because I haven't decided if there's anything to forgive. Because like I said, I'm looking at what's going on inside of me. And so that's an interesting thing. And that's something that holds us back, is these weird kind of beliefs that hold things in contingency, believing that things are hard, believing that we're here to be tested can be a very limiting belief. Maybe it serves you, maybe it doesn't. I know that a lot of people believe that in order to learn, they have to go through hard things. And I think that is one of the most limiting and interesting beliefs to have. Because if you believe that you have to go through a hard thing, then you're going to constantly be creating situations in your life so you can learn. What if learning were just easy and you could learn your lessons easy? I believe that you can learn your lessons easy. I've experienced like this, just I get an aha and I was like, oh, that's cool. I've also experienced where like the lesson's trying to come and I'm resisting it. And when I resist it, each time it comes again, it comes with a little more force. And so it does become hard. So to me, when you believe that you are learning is hard, and in order to learn certain things, you have to go through hard things, to me, that's a sign of resistance. You're resisting the lesson. And if you want to live your life that way, great. But I think it holds you back. Another perspective. Okay, so, oh my gosh. I just had this like huge aha that has totally something. And it's just like, wow, world change. Whoa. Okay, so I have talked a little bit on my channel about the 6 human needs as presented by Tony Robbins. The needs are having certainty and uncertainty, which can also be called variety, belonging and significance, and growth or learning and contribution. I think they're all in little pairs, and that we all have one of the two that is stronger for us, but they're all needed. Okay, so they're all a human needs. We need all 6. And there are a couple of others that I believe that we need, but they're irrelevant in this conversation to share this experience with you. So I've known without any doubt, that my need for belonging has always been huge. It is one of the most obvious needs that I've ever had. And so I know that I need to belong. And I can see where being of significance is important to me. And I can see where I have certainty and variety. They both have, I think I lean a little more to variety, but I can see both of them at play in my life. And I was kind of looking at the growth and contribution one, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool to grow and whatever. But then I had this awareness because I was looking at what was holding me back in my life. And I was learning some things about self-actualization and became very aware that my dominant function in the Jungian functions, my dominant function is learning. Wow. And I was like, that's really interesting. Yeah, I love to learn. I love to talk ideas. I love this sharing of ideas and the growing of ideas, and when somebody gets what I'm talking about and they add to it and I add to it and we just kind of building this great thing. I love that. So I realized, oh, okay, so learning and growth is really big for me. And then I had this even bigger, and this is the profound one. I became aware of this idea. Now my battery's running really low. I hope I can make it through this. Gotta hurry fast. Okay. This idea that that in order to fulfill my need to grow, I have to have a problem to solve. I was not able to move past it because the idea of what would I do if I actually self-actualized? And I panicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I self-actualized, what would I learn? So I had to address that. It took me a couple of days to put all the pieces in, and for the sake of curiosity, and that, I could. And so sometimes we get caught up in these beliefs, and sometimes we're not aware of them. I had no clue that the human need for growth was so strong for me. And so I didn't realize if I did, then what would I learn? Because right now, it's in this way to change my beliefs, and this way to do this, and this way to do that. So I was constantly looking for solutions, and now I can learn just for the sake of learning. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. And I've noticed a huge change in my attitude now that I have let go of fulfilling my human need by staying put. Now I realize I can fulfill my shine big, bright, light, and beautiful, and check in with your beliefs. Are they holding you back? Waiting, waiting.